Ripped Apart, Living Misdiagnosed describes in detail the real-life story of Gary and Carol Stern's journey through the landmark legal case in Baltimore. Carol and author David Black joins us this morning. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
So good morning. I want to start with you, David. Just give us a brief synopsis of what this book is about.
It's a book about a couple who dealt with the tragic malpractice suit. Carol's husband, Gary, ended up with his internal organs on the outside of his body for almost 4 years.
Oh, goodness.
And it's a very interesting medical and legal story, and Carol and Gary were both very interesting people. Gary was a bail bondsman and a bounty hunter, and Carol has an interesting story in her family that involves CIA and Navy and drug smuggling.
Oh, goodness.
So they were interesting people.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And Carol, why did you want this story to be told?
After what my husband went through, it was very important for him not to have died in vain. I don't want other people to go through what my husband went through. And if this story, my telling this story, will help people so they don't have to go through it, it's worth it to me. All I want to do is give people the knowledge that I ended up having to get the hard way.
And I understand, David, that this story, even though it is about the trials and tribulations that that Carol and her husband went through with his diagnosis and fighting that, this really is a love story.
Absolutely. A mutual friend introduced me to Carol and her brother-in-law, David Stern. And the first 2 times I talked to Carol, I wasn't sure that was a story I could do, because after movies like The Verdict, a medical malpractice, you got to do better or different.
Right.
And when I realized this was a love story, Carol told her husband, "I'm not going to let you go till you're ready." The love story, and in the context of American medical health care on the street level, which is not a pretty sight, intrigued me. So Carol and I, for 4 years, spent time working on this book, which is coming out in June.
The book is coming out in June. And Carol, I want to ask you, you've been through so much, you and Gary. A lot of people this past year have been through a lot as well. What is your message about persevering and really being tenacious in fighting and getting the results that you hope to get? And we have about 30 seconds, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to ask you to be pretty brief in that, albeit very important question and answer.
The best, easiest answer is listen to your inner voice. They will direct you the right way. And trust yourself and your family above all else. You will not be scared.
Carol Stern and David Black, thank you so much. Let's put up the book one more time. It's called Ripped Apart, Living Misdiagnosed. We thank you for this book. And folks, pick it up. It's a great read. And as you said, it's also a love story, so very important there. Thank you both for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you.